Gossip is poison disguised as sweetness. And though it seems harmless when it first touches your lips, it eats away at your peace like fire on dry grass. You may think you are only passing words, but in truth, each whispered story is a seed planted in the mind, and seeds of judgment, comparison, and ill will grow into forests of unrest that you cannot escape. The Buddha once said in the Dhammapada, verse 5, "Hatred is never overcome by hatred. Hatred is overcome by love." And yet gossip thrives on subtle forms of hatred. The delight in someone's failure, the rush of superiority when another is diminished. You believe you are bonding with others through shared words, but in the secret chambers of your mind, each retelling carves away trust, weaving invisible chains of suspicion that tighten even around your own heart. The Lotus Sutra reminds us, the mouth is the gateway of both truth and delusion. When truth is spoken, liberation follows, but when falsehood spreads, bondage deepens. Gossip is not just about others. It is the hidden thief of your own serenity, robbing you of silence, clarity, and compassion. Have you noticed how restless you feel after indulging in it? How even when the words are forgotten, a residue lingers, like dust in clear water, clouding your perception? In the Majjhima Nikaya, Sutta 61, the Buddha advised his son, Rahula, if speech brings harm to oneself or others, it should not be spoken. Gossip is the subtle harm that seems invisible, but bleeds into every corner of your being, even when you are not aware. The shocking truth is this: gossip does not only harm those being spoken about, it enslaves you. For to speak of another with judgment is to bind yourself to their karma, carrying burdens that were never yours to bear. The Zen master Bankei once warned, "Do not be so concerned with the faults of others. When you turn your light inward, there is no one to be judged." Gossip keeps that light always pointing outward, scattering it on shadows, never allowing it to illumine the stillness within. And here lies the hidden danger. The more you gossip, the more your mind trains itself to look outward, searching for flaws, exaggerating stories, losing the natural ability to return home to silence. The Agama Sutra, Volume 10, Sutta 42, describes this tendency. The mind that delights in the faults of others is like a man carrying fire against the wind. He burns himself first. You cannot escape the fire of your own words. Even when laughter accompanies gossip, your heart contracts, your breath shortens, and peace vanishes. Because on some deep level, you know that a tongue trained in speaking of others will one day turn back upon you. The secret is this: every word you speak shapes your consciousness, chiseling the pathways of thought and habit. Gossip carves sharp edges, while mindful speech softens and heals. The Heart Sutra reminds us, form is emptiness, emptiness is form, meaning that every form of speech, even the lightest remark, is not separate from the emptiness of your own mind. When you pollute the form, you pollute the emptiness, and thus disturb the still pool of awareness itself. Consider this: when you gossip, you steal from three treasures at once. You steal the dignity of the one spoken about, you steal the trust of the one who listens, and you steal the peace of your own mind. This threefold theft is heavier than it appears, and the karmic weight bends your spirit into restlessness. In the Samyutta Nikaya, Sutta 56.11, the Buddha declared, right speech is abstaining from false speech, divisive speech, harsh speech, and idle chatter. Gossip is often all four in disguise. You tell yourself it is small, Yet every idle word creates ripples that disturb countless lives. If you listen closely, you can feel the body's warning. A tightening in the chest, a slight unease, a flicker of guilt. This is the Dharma speaking from within, calling you back to awareness. And so, the real reason gossip is destroying your peace is not because of what it does to others, but because of what it does to you. It teaches your mind to feed on restlessness, to distrust silence, to scatter energy outward until you no longer know how to sit quietly in your own company. The Lankavatara Sutra teaches, deluded thought projects the world, purified thought transcends it. Gossip is the practice of deluded thought, projecting stories endlessly while mindfulness purifies, cutting through projection into direct seeing. The shocking warning is that if gossip becomes your habit, peace will always elude you, because your mind will never know rest in the absence of chatter. But the secret liberation is equally simple. To restrain the tongue is to reclaim your freedom. When you resist gossip, you feel a sudden spaciousness inside, a clarity that rises like clear water after storm clouds have passed. In that silence, compassion awakens. You see that everyone is carrying hidden pain, that every life is as fragile as your own, and that no words spoken behind another's back can ever bring you closer to joy. As the Dhammapada, verse 134, counsels, silent as a broken gong, never retaliating, that one I call a true sage. So when the urge to gossip arises, do not condemn yourself. Simply pause, breathe, and choose silence. Let your words become medicine, not poison. Let your speech be like cool rain, not fire. In the end, the real secret is this: peace is not found in the silence of others, but in the silence of your own heart. And when you release the chains of gossip, you will discover that what you were seeking in stories of others was always waiting in the stillness of your own soul. And if you wish to continue cultivating mindfulness and wisdom, please subscribe and walk together with our community as we explore profound reflections on the Dharma. Each modern discourse will be a step bringing you closer to the truth. May you always be peaceful, clear-minded, and pure on your path of awakening. Farewell, and see you again